A wise legend, Patrice Evra, once said, "Watching Arsenal is like watching Netflix. You always wait for the next season. And trust me, every season is going to be like that." And boy, was he right.
Get up! Good enough! Come out. Stop title, not keep him on there.
This is like Netflix. Yeah. Should we watch the next season as well?
Hey, this is proper. This is proper.
You brought me out of retirement. Let me see if McGann try our team. It's going to be a tough game, but I think we can beat them. 2-1.
We're getting revenge in this game. Saliba's back off the suspension. Timber's back. Saka's back.
Don't sniff coke. It's a bad thing.
There's so much inconsistencies in the refereeing in this country. It depends.
You're deluded.
Arsenal will definitely be there or thereabouts.
They'll take one sniff, two sniff.
Someone compared him in style to Coutinho. I kind of see it.
Three sniff, four sniff.
How many cogs do we need?
What all right, so...
Don't say that is not right. Let's say it as it is.
I do feel that Havertz are going to have a very big season this year for Arsenal. I do. They'll take one sniff. Opportunity to go invincible. Is that what you're looking at now?
Could be.
If I had a gun, I'd shoot him.
Don't sniff coke. It's a bad thing.
I mean, Arsenal's a good team, but you guys are not going to win anything.
All comes with support Arsenal.
Now the title is gone, you know it's gone.
If we don't beat these guys,
here we go. Lock in.
Comfortably,
Comfortably.
right? I will be fuming.
Don't sniff coke. It's a bad thing.
This has to be a Chelsea win. Yeah. Minimum.
One sniff, two sniff, three sniff, four sniff.
Pick up your damn selves in a bit, people. Peace.
Or should it be a draw? 1-1 just doesn't. 1-1, I'll celebrate. You said so much. I can now celebrate a draw like a win. So I'll take a draw.
Don't sniff coke.
Forgot!
Welcome back to DR Sports People.
I forgot!
Weekend roundup show.
No, I forgot I said that!
DR Sports.
You're in trouble.
Myself,
They should have shown me that last little bit. Sorry, AGT. Sorry.
Got Flex. Got Matisse in the building.
Hey, how comes, right? They put so much effort into when my demise is.
Because you give it the big one.
They went in.
We're gonna get revenge.
And I didn't say it like, shut up.
A revenge which part? When a revenge there?
We got killed.
Well, it's another loss for Arsenal. We'll be discussing and dissecting that one as the show prevails. Obviously, Chelsea and Manchester United drew as well. And my team, Liverpool, stay number one. Who won? Tess! To be fair, though, we've never played anyone above us this season, have we? All right, let's get into the show. Before we do, a big shout-out to our sponsors for this show, Fair Play, of course. The peer-to-peer betting app that allows you to keep your friends accountable when they're giving it the big one. Time to pay up, right? Time to pay up. Fair Play have also launched, as we know, Jackpot Sevens, the Premier League predictor game, where you can win up to £700,000 in cold, hard cash. No one else with me. No. Whilst no one took home the jackpot once again this week, the beauty of the Jackpot Sevens is that each week a minimum prize pot of 500 quid, right, can still be split between the top 5 placed entries. Stay tuned to later on in the show, where we revealed this week's 6 winners, right, as well as how the panel got on from the predictions show. Very interested to see that one. For sure, Mr. Robin. The next Jackpot Sevens game is now open with us, by the way, so if you'd like to play along, please download the Fair Play app, select Play Jackpot Sevens, but enter your predictions for this game week. Some big games coming up again, and see if you are one of the 5 guaranteed winners for that week. It's £5 to enter, and the weekly prize pot increases the more the people enter, Robbie. Right? How you feeling, mate?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Yeah, by the way, get well soon to Abby. You've been noticing why Abby's not here today. She's not feeling well.
Big up.
I probably avoided a little bit of a cooking off of her as well.
Yeah, you definitely did.
They had a great performance yesterday. But get well soon, Abby. And we, she's not feeling too good today, so that's why she's not here. This weekend's games, of course, were intense.
You can say that again.
Packed with action. Well, I don't know if ours was packed with action, but packed with action. And if you couldn't keep up to, updated and watch your team's match because you were travelling, Wish I was travelling, right? or you didn't have access. That's a shame. Missing out during the season just isn't an option, and that's why today's sponsor is Proton VPN. They're stepping in, and they got a great discount on the show today. It's like bringing a stadium to you, no matter where you are, and it's incredibly private and secure. Just click the link for an exclusive 55% off a 2-year plan.
Big.
And 50% off a 1-year plan, so you'd never have to miss the action again. That's Proton VPN. Big up to the guys from Proton VPN for sponsoring the show today, should I say.
I bet you did wish that you missed the action of the 12:30. But whilst Robbie and Cecil went out in Newcastle, they went Jaloo, they were in Tup Tup.
Oh, they did do it
Whilst
again.
they went
went
Tup
out, yeah?
Tup.
I know, the night before was lit.
No, I saw it.
That was about it, man.
Whilst they went Tup Tup, Liverpool went Top Top. But we'll get into that for
this
sure,
is what
won't
we
we?
got to put up with all show,
We'll get
man.
into that for sure.
Can't
We'll
say
get
nothing,
into that
mate.
for sure.
Can't say nothing.
Let's start it then with the St James's Park action. Arsenal failed to beat Newcastle at St James's Park for the 3rd time in 4 years. Isaac's 12th goal in 12 games at St James's Park. The big question is, Robbie, as a lot of people are now saying in the fan cams of AFTV, etc., and online, are Arsenal now out of the title race?
No. Not yet. Right? I think if City would have won, right, and obviously you guys won, if both of you would have won, you're starting to look on it and say, boy. But the fact that City didn't win has thrown a little lifeline to Arsenal. But if we continue playing it, we're really badly off form at the moment. That's now, since that international break, 3 games, 1 draw, 2 losses. That's not championship form. But we're not out of the title race. We lost to Newcastle last year.
Yeah.
You know?
And you didn't win the league last year.
We did win it. That's true. But it was close.
I've got to get them in early.
Who won Tess? That was just a light little jab from the team.
That's a good one.
Just a,
That's a good one. But it was...
Robbie do his little thing first.
It was close. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to win the league?
Sorry, we're on Arsenal. We'll get
No,
to
but I'm
it.
just...
No,
I'm not...
Wait,
I'm not doing this today.
Wait a minute. Wait a
minute.
All the Liverpool fans around the world, I'm standing on business today.
Wait a minute.
You've not mentioned one player's performance yet.
No, I'm going to get into it.
No, don't try and skip ahead.
I'm going to get into it.
We're not doing this, Robbie.
We're not doing this.
Okay. All right, cool.
You must stay on the game.
Cool. I'll stay in the game. All right. The reason...
And open it out at the end.
Do not try and deflect.
Let me just say...
How dare you try
Okay, I'm not...
early on? How dare you?
In no way am I trying to deflect, right?
dare you?
So I asked this to my Liverpool friend yesterday. I said, are you going to win the league?
Hang on.
No, you're going back to Liverpool.
I'm answering your question.
You have to talk about your team.
Your team are dead at the
Where
minute.
is Trossard? What is Arteta doing?
No
How many questions are you not asking me? You just asked me.
Arsenal.
1 second.
We don't want to hear Liverpool from you.
No, we're not
1
getting onto that
second.
yet.
You asked me a
Mr.
question.
Top. Get in the club again or speak about this.
Listen, you
Robbie,
asked
look at the
me.
comments, man.
You asked me a question.
You can't.
Robbie.
No, I asked you a question.
1 second.
Their show, man.
Brother, you asked me a question. You said, "Are you going to win the league?" That was the first question you asked. I'm answering it now, right? Right? Can you? Are you out of the title race? Sorry, you asked, right?
That's a specific.
I'm
question
answering
that
the
I
question by saying, right? that I asked a Liverpool friend of mine yesterday,
this
do you
is
think you win the league?
ridiculous,
He
Robbie.
said,
I'm not having
he
this.
said he's not sure.
I'm not having
So that
this.
just shows me
No
that
one's
it ain't
sure.
over yet,
Nothing.
right?
Of course we're not sure.
Liverpool are 7 points. Let me finish. Liverpool are 7 points ahead of us.
on your
right?
deflection.
We're in a bad position right now. We have to. I feel that next week against Chelsea,
Pathetic, this is.
that's a game we have to win now, right? But it's not over yet. The league's not done and dusted yet.
saying it
Liverpool
is.
fans are not saying they're going to win the league yet.
Yep.
You know what I mean? City dropped points to... That was the same team that beat us, Bournemouth, right? So, you know, it
And you
ain't
had 10
over
men,
yet. And
remember?
I get the feeling that this season... There's
They
going
had
to be.
11. So that
I
makes it better.
get the feeling this season more teams are going to drop points than they have over the past couple of years because I just don't think no one's on fire this
Them
season.
1-0.
Right, so
90 points.
St James's Park.
so you asking me that now?
Them 1-0.
Because I don't know how many.
Them 1-0.
No, 90
Alright,
points
that
season.
one to know.
We
Name
lost.
us.
We lost at St James's
did you
Park.
lose?
We lost at St James's Park because we were crap. We deserved to
There we go.
lose. It was a poor performance. Probably the worst performance I've seen this season. You know what I mean? I was really, really disappointed in what I saw. We started the game really well. Like, because I was like, we got to get off to it. Funny enough, the night before when we was out, I said to the guys, I go, yo, Newcastle's that team, you can't afford to go down to them. They just lock it down. And they've done it to us a couple of times. So I go, we've got to score first, and we cannot afford to start like how we did against Bournemouth. We've got to start quick, right? We did start really, really well, and then it was really against the run of play that they got their goal. It was a great goal, great cross, great finish. At first, I was looking to blame this player. And
of course
it's really difficult to defend that because he hit in Gordon, just first-time delivery. Brilliant cross, great goal. Right. But after that, the response from Arsenal was not good enough. It was poor. You know what I mean? We didn't threaten. We just had a lot of possession, and just did nothing with it. Just pass. I was like trying to work out, where's Havertz playing? You know what I mean? It's almost like we were playing with two false number 9s. We didn't have a direct player down the middle because there was one time in the first half, Saka puts a great ball into the box. There's like no one in there to put it away. So I just thought it was a really, really poor performance. It's a really worrying performance because we've not been playing well since, I know the 10 men, you could look to that and say, that was a circumstance for that, a factor for the game against Bournemouth. But even that game, we didn't start well, right? And I don't even think it's as simple as saying we're missing Martin Odegaard. Of course we are missing him, right? We're missing his creativity. But we're not creating enough around the pitch. There's not enough creativity from individuals, you know what I mean? So it's not just the fact that we're missing Odegaard. It's the fact that at the moment, it reminds me a lot of last year when we lost those 2 games to West Ham and Fulham, where we was kind of like looking at it and thinking, what's gone wrong? Why are we so flat at the moment? So, I feel if we lose to you guys next week at Stamford Bridge, I feel it could be over then. Yeah, I'd look on that. And I think that's like a last chance for Arsenal. But it is still very early in the season. It's too early to.
I'm not ruling Arsenal.
It's too early to just say the title race is done. There's still a lot of quality in that team. I know there are some fans saying it. I'm not saying it yet. But that was a very worrying performance. There's no way of getting away from it. There's no blaming referees. There's no blaming nothing for that. There's no 10-men thing.
Yep.
That was just a bad performance. And I've got to credit Newcastle, by the way, because I heard like a lot of our fans saying, but they just parked the bus. No. They played brilliantly. They had a game plan, right? When they went ahead, they had a game plan, which is basically, we're just going to lock them off now. And they did. And I thought they were, Joe Linton, Bruno Guimaraes, Willock, Gordon. The work rate that they got through was phenomenal. You know what I mean? And they just clamped us.
Underestimate Newcastle at St James's Park.
No. They're especially at St James's Park. Our record there the last few years ain't been great. I was really, really disappointed with our performance, and there's nothing positive to say about it. That's the
one shot on target flex.
Yeah, shocking.
And Declan Rice, by the way, missed that absolute.
Yeah, at the end. He should have scored that for at least a draw. Okay, so that's true. Everything you said, the criticism of the team. We must discuss Mikel Arteta. We must. I didn't hear a lot. I didn't think you didn't really say his name in that breakdown.
Well, yeah, I mean, you are right because tactically, the game is. As I said, I couldn't see where Havertz was playing. That was the one in particular for me because I'm like, where's the attacker?
Yeah.
Where's that focal point? That is down, and you are right. You have to put that down to Mikel Arteta.
And not just this game. The reason why I'm saying Arteta, and where it's been right, I'm trying to I do the neutral thing. When Arsenal I've been sometimes, the Man City thing, I defended them when I was like, nah, come on guys, that's not this. This has been coming. From Leicester, Southampton, even though you won them games, Shakhtar, the level of performance has dropped. And like Lee Judges says, when everything's going rosy and everyone wants to blow smoke up his arse, it's all going right, everyone want to praise him, when it's going wrong, whose fault is it? Excuses, excuses. Facts. And Arteta's getting away with a lot of excuses. This isn't because Martin Odegaard popped down with an injury. This is Mikel Arteta's inability to come up with a sufficient enough plan. The whole team, as well as Arsenal are well coached, Arteta's doing all this amazing work, which he has done. And with him being out, Odegaard, this should not look like this. Then it goes back to the transfer window. Mikel Merino and you're letting go of Smith Rowe, attacking player, etc., Reece Nelson, etc. Like you have to.
But Flex, the one thing I would say.
I'm just saying, hold on.
The one thing I would say on that, right, is that they're not creative players. I wouldn't say.
Well, Smith Rowe in a 10 wouldn't be bad.
Smith Rowe's more of an attacking midfielder.
But that's what you need.
That's a creative.
No, but I'm saying the problem is where I do agree with you. It's not been attacking enough.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
So,
no, but he's gone with Mikel Merino, who you said, remember, he can play as a 10. He's been doing that. You said that for Spain. He done it twice.
Well, he wasn't playing as a 10 on Saturday. He was playing as a box-to-box.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is you're now looking at a thing where Arteta, what the hell are you doing? Let's just call it a spade. It's not working with this 4-4-2. This hybrid. Havertz is now half a striker, not a striker.
Yeah, that's
10
not working.
On the right, not working. It's not working with Mikel Merino and Rice in there, right? You have Thomas Partey now in at right back. Okay, but
that was
Ben
White's.
Ben White's got to come back in. Whatever.
Partey's been our best midfielder this season.
What I'm saying is that the truth of the matter is that Arteta has been praised so highly for the work that he's done in the right moments. This is the moment where we look at him and say, you have not found a solution for one player being injured.
I think you're correct.
Yeah, and you've also brought in Raheem Sterling, who, again, to be fair, I said, you know what, when they're going through the trenches, they're going through the mud, he's got some experience. He can help. You're not playing him. Martinelli, what are you doing? What awful. Livramento locked him up. You know, players giving away the ball. You know what I mean?
Lewis Hall locked up Saka.
And, like, to be fair, Saka still probably would have got an assist.
Saka should have had 2 assists in that, even though
his level,
he did get locked up.
His level wasn't there.
Livramento was brilliant.
Yeah.
And he wasn't at his level, but he still put in 2.
Yeah, he did. And that would have changed it. But the truth of the matter is people need to look at, we need to discuss Arteta in this. Because
Eddie's left.
Huh?
Edu's left.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Because Arteta's inability to find the right solutions in this, they look worried, they look scared, they look void of... I can't remember the last time I saw Arsenal play where I looked at them and thought, they're not going to score today. They're not going to score today. And like I said, this isn't like... the 10-men thing is one thing, but you look at the performances against Leicester, how you let them back into the game. You look at the first half against Southampton, then eventually going 1-0 down. These are against poor sides, so you eventually came back. You look at the performance against Shakhtar. This was creeping in, and Arteta has not been able to plug the gaps before the catastrophe, i.e. losing at Bournemouth, i.e. losing at Newcastle. And then what's it going to be next? Because if you don't find a solution, like you say, next week against these lot, and they're not a very good team as well, by the way, that's big problems. And I think, actually, sometimes we can blow things up and say, it ain't that deep. I think...
Do you think they could get dragged into a top 4 fight?
100%.
No, listen, I
just said to you... I think they're already Matisse.
I just said to you, it's a worrying performance. Simple as that. It was worrying. You know what I mean? Like, you looked at it like you said, Flex. We didn't look like scoring. If you played another 90, we didn't look like scoring.
Robbie, I have to ask, the transfer window where a recognised out-and-out number 9 wasn't brought in, I do believe you gave it a 7 out of 10 transfer window. Was it 8?
Turkish said 8 in the super chat.
7. Tell Turkish to stop lying.
When you're looking at the shocking stats, which are 1 shot on target for that game, do you wish that in the summer you should have gone a bit harder and maybe tried to bring in a Gyökeres?
The thing is, though, if you don't play someone as a striker, Havertz has started the season well. He's been scoring goals, right? Sure. Even I know he's Preston scored a great goal in that, but I just couldn't work out. I was watching the game. This is where I kind of have to agree.
Everywhere but up front.
I kind of have to agree with Flex on this, right? I'm like, because I was saying it when we were driving. I'm like, where was he playing? Okay, like, who's a striker? There was no striker. So it doesn't matter who you buy. You know what I mean? If you're not going to play the striker down the middle as a striker, you start to think to yourself, what's going on? It was a very weird type of formation, and it just didn't work. And you're right, Arteta does have to take a lot of the blame for that.
You know what I mean? The whole way you play because one man
that just wasn't good enough, and that's what I said. You know what I mean? I said it right when you was asking me that we can sit here and talk about Martin Odegaard being out, but there's other ways to create it. We didn't create anything. Nothing. We're not. So that was the really and the person that I felt that we really missed. although he was playing, was Partey, because he's been our best midfielder by a mile this season. He's been the more...
He had the party, didn't he?
He sort of creates from deep.
Night before.
You know?
He had the party.
That was the only party we had.
We didn't have the Thomas, we had the party.
Thank God for the night before, bro, because I'll tell you what.
Shout out, top
Literally. So listen, as you say, Matisse, the table at the minute doesn't look great for Arsenal. They find themselves, actually, are they back in 4th now?
No, they're 5th.
Oh, this needs a refresh then.
5th.
There no, it still says 4th on the BBC.
Oh no, that was you're looking at
Arsenal
5th.
Saturday.
Yeah. We're 5th
right now. I mean,
5th.
As we approach what's going to be a really busy period with more cup games, more challenging games. You've got Chelsea next. I mean, that turns into, and we'll obviously preview it in more detail on Thursday, but that turns into a must win. And if he doesn't get the result, Arteta, are we going to see a few?
Well,
outshouts?
I think they signed he signed a new contract, right? And this is the second contract he signed at Arsenal, where he's signed a contract before actually getting over the line in the title race, and now obviously letting this season really settle down, and he signed a new contract. So I always thought, how are you going to sack him after just signing a new contract? But if he gets himself into a top 4 fight and doesn't win any trophies this season, that is a sackable offence. I'm sorry, because Arsenal, their trajectory this season was minimum challenge for the Premier League title. That was the minimum. A lot of people, before the transfer window, and rightly so, are demanding a win in the title race, right? But at least challenge and then win a cup and supplement it. If you're in a top 4 fight with Chelsea, Aston Villa, and I'm not saying that you're going to be, but if that's the state of play in May, you're sacked. You have to be.
I think
it's regression.
I think, let's just remember though, right, that, you know what I mean, we're not in May. You know what I mean? Some people are talking and carrying on like we are in May. We're not in May. It's bad. It's 2 defeats, but we lost to Newcastle last year as well. And at this stage, I think we'd had 2 defeats at this stage as well. And we had 4 defeats even before Christmas. So it's a case of now, he's got to pick it up. Because that on the weekend was not good enough. And that on the weekend is no excuses. And he does have to take a lot of the blame for that, because I couldn't work out what we were doing. And then the players as well were really disappointing. They, you know what I mean? They weren't brave enough in their play, I felt, as well. You know what I mean? And there's some players that are really badly off form, man. You know what I mean? I don't understand. That's the other thing I'm a bit in agreement with you, Flex, because why is he not using Sterling? I'm looking at Martinelli at the moment, man, and I'm like, he was so bad. I'm like, it would have been a shout to switch it up there and play him. I don't know. We've got 2 games coming up this week that are really tough games, right? But it can change the mood if you do well in those games. You know what I mean? So we've got to go away. We've got to go away to Inter Milan. Got to go away to Inter. Got to go away to Chelsea. The most important out of those 2 for me is that Chelsea game. We have to get something out of that game now,
and it can't be a draw. Really.
You know, really need a win in that game. And, you know, we didn't win there last year. That was another place. I remember we went through, it's kind of mirroring last year that we went through that run when we went to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Didn't win that. Only just about beat Luton in the last minute.
4-3, yeah.
But, lost to Newcastle. Then, you know, a little after that, lost to Fulham, lost to West Ham. Then we just got it all together after that. We've got to get it together early now, or we're going to be banging trouble, definitely.
Yeah, let's get into a couple super chats, and then you'll remind us of an event you're doing at 2:00 on Amili, one of our favourite apps that we're using right now. Ronnie Dodge, under Amorim at the Bridge, we will beat Chelsea, the Manchester United fan there. Jamie M says, don't blame the 12:30 kickoff.
We're not blaming the 12:30 kickoff, by the way, because we're normally pretty good on 12:30 kickoff, so that is definitely not an excuse. Although when you go away to Newcastle as a fan, 12:30 was a long trip.
You weren't saying that on Friday night, were you?
No, but you know what?
Top.
Funny enough, I was bigging up the Newcastle fans, because I did it in a show the other day. I don't know if you guys checked this, yeah? Their nearest game, right? Their nearest game is Nottingham Forest.
Wow.
And even that's about...
They travel so well.
That's nearly a 3-hour drive.
They travel so well.
Nottingham Forest is long.
Yeah, they've got to go...
Scotland, for
you think
Christ's
about
sakes.
it. They have to go to 7 London clubs. There's 7 London clubs, isn't it? 7 London clubs.
2 Manchesters.
Brighton.
They've got to go 2 Manchester clubs, that's far away. They've got to go Brighton, Southampton, and Bournemouth. Those fans, I'm telling you.
I'm not surprised Matty Renton's begging for Sunderland to come back up.
Honestly.
That would be close.
They need Middlesbrough back as well.
Yeah, Clara Bitsy says, big up Flex. Hopefully that moron has been reported. Now, we'll have a chat about that, Flex. We all saw that, what happened in your fan cam yesterday at the Man United game. And we'll get onto that when we're talking about the Man United game. Clara Bitsy also says, Robbie, would you like to acknowledge Abby was correct when she said, anti-football club after you lot only managed one shot on target? No, I'm not accepting that, because the week before, we scored 2 goals in that game against Liverpool, a team that hardly anybody scored against, as AGT's been telling us.
6 goals.
So no, I'm not acknowledging that.
Yeah.
Clara says, now some interesting stats for you, Robbie.
Ooh.
No team in the Premier League after 10 games played are trailing by 7 points or more have gone on to win the league since Blackburn in 1994. I don't think that's accurate, by the way, because City have done it. They've come back from less points down. City
After
have done
10
that.
games played, she says.
No, I don't think that's accurate. I'm not quite sure if that's
sticking
accurate.
Point here, unfortunately for you.
She's
Rob.
that might be from the AGT book of stats.
Wow, listen.
Right?
I don't think City have ever been more than 10 points off.
After 10 games. That's
no,
the
we're
key
not 10
thing
points
here.
off, are we?
How many points off?
After 10 league games, trailing
Yeah.
by 7. She's not talking about 25 games, she's talking 10. So that is right.
I'm not sure if that is accurate.
Why
No, because I saw some stat around it the other day. I'll have a look. Clara
Have a look.
Bitsy
He'll have a
says,
look, Clara.
when
He'll
Arsenal
have a look.
signed
That's
Sterling,
good.
Robbie said he's baptised. He did get baptised. I mean, thank God. Robbie, there is this annoying phrase I've got for you, which you used a lot during the Euros. You all laughed at us. You're not laughing at us now. Well, listen.
No one's laughing around
You're going
here.
a bit early. You're going a bit early. It's 10 games gone.
Gotti says 21 years and counting. Stay humble, Robbie? Stay humble, Clara then says, Robbie, are you worried that you could go into the international break with Spurs being ahead of Arsenal if Arsenal failed to beat Chelsea, as even a draw would not be enough?
Well, like I said, we need to beat Chelsea. It's a tough ask. Right, the way mind you,
If you
know
take
what I mean?
2
There's
L's this week,
little bit of
your
hope,
fan
but
base.
yeah, we need something. We need a lift.
Saeed
2 L's
Monga
this week.
says last night proved why we keep saying bowing on your knees doesn't help in relation to what Flex went through yesterday. Big up Flex, he says. Say hi to next season FC from Bigger Fish to Fry Stadium. I'm guessing that's about you. Big up
Who do
the
you
panel,
support? That's what I would
says
say.
Sam. Big up
do you
Flex.
support?
Hope that scumbag is punished from yesterday. Uncomfortable stat for the Don. Dead football Spurs, as you described them, they're only 2 points behind Arsenal with a better goal ratio. Clara.
Yeah, sorry.
Robbie, are you ready to acknowledge the fact that Arsenal are now in a top 4 race rather than a title race?
No. Pavage says, after going goalless in 5 league games last season, everyone knew Arsenal needed quality additions in attack, as the main priority in the window was to take the next step instead of we just got Sterling. 7 out of 10, he says. Laughing emoji.
10, that's what Robbie gave
Off
it.
the biscuit says games played versus the current top 5. Arsenal have won 2. Liverpool have won 3.
Played against top 5. You've played 2. We've played 3.
Oh, we got Forest coming
We're
up.
up.
Yeah, they are now in the top 5.
Pavanjit says,
but I
don't
can't-
listen to these guys, Robbie. We may be 7 points off. Dropped 8 points in the last 3 games and no one up front signed when we needed badly. At least we rattled City for a few hours on the 22nd of September. Girales says, Robbie, does Liverpool still play no one? What is the next excuse? No signings, Liverpool, 7 points ahead of Arsenal.
Going to win the league?
It's not the question. that
Tabaris says,
we're answering
rolling
today.
down the street smoking Wataru
Wataru
Endo.
Endo.
Is that a song?
Mate, what a player that boy is, and we're going to speak about him
You
in a
still
bit.
wanted to get rid of him in the summer.
Endo.
Find the clip.
Endo.
Find the clip. Don't you
Endo.
dare try and put words in my mouth. I said he was our top 5 players last season. Don't you dare try that.
Endo.
No, because you're desperate now.
I'm
You're
not
making
desperate,
up
but I'm
clips in
sure-
your head that never
I'm
actually
sure-
came out.
I'm sure people are sort of having
I'm sure. Well, we should try and be
needed a holding
little bit more
midfielder.
sure.
Liverpool fans were saying, isn't it?
Endo was one of our best players
Zubimendi.
last season. Mohammed says, big
well,
up the
what did you
2
need
best
Zubimendi
football
for?
shows. Imran from Tricky India. Lucky Liverpool, says Saeed. Shout out to you. And Starkey Stark will leave this one and then move on. This one's for Flex, man. Respect you for keeping your composure with that incident. Do not let it slide. Take action, brother.
Oh, no, a couple more. Tennis says, last season we only got 1 point in December after playing Fulham, Liverpool and West Ham, and Liverpool were 5 points clear. And we were told we were out of the title race. I've seen this story
I don't
before.
think Arsenal are out of the title race.
Stephen Island's grandmother says AGT is going to be unbearable for the foreseeable future.
Foreseeable? All right, that means you think we're going to do
Big
well
up
this
to
year.
Flex. You handle yourself well. Hashtag KIO says Lee Slims. Haaland should be at Chelsea. He doesn't fit City, says SW6 Blues. Ole Andre says, it was all in our hands, Robert. You should sack the gymnastic teacher in Arteta. So Pulis will improve the way you play. You should get him. Much love. Flex YNW. And, why did I have a feeling it might be a Liverpool fan? Mike Bass says, big up Flex. It's 2024 and this is still happening. Thanks for all you do, man.
Yeah.
No place for racism. Let's get into that. First of all, before we even talk about the game, and it's not a great thing that we're even saying that. When actually, just before we get into that, don't forget today, by the way, 2 p.m. on Omely, me and Matty Renton, who I had to endure after that game.
Big up to him.
Absolutely putting it on me, but you know what I mean? Enough respect going out to Matty Renton. We're going to be discussing the aftermath of that game. And so you can get in, call in, be part of the show as well. That's going to be on Omely. Download the Omely app right now. It's a great app where you guys get to debate and chat with your favourite influencers, host your own audio shows, listen in and chat with us, and basically have your own audio podcast. Sign up. It's really easy and quick. And the cherry on top is that you get to create your own AI avatar. Right, and you've seen ours, and mine's terrible, right? We've all done it by uploading a picture. You actually get some hilarious results. It's audio, and it's super easy to use. There's also a unique scoring system, so that the more that you engage on the app, the higher you can climb up the ranks. Just search and follow the DR Sports channel so you can join the show. So click the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen to download the Omely app and see you there. And don't forget, 2 p.m. today, me and Matty Renton from the Magpie channel, big Newcastle fan. As I was just about to say, Flex, we really want to talk about what was the big game yesterday, Manchester United versus Chelsea. But unfortunately, there was an incident that happened after the game on what was captured on your channel, where you were, you and everybody, basically a fan came on and said the N-word and racially abused you, and then just walked off. You look absolutely stunned by the whole incident, and like everybody's saying in the chat, you handled yourself really, really well. Because, the reaction could have been so different. I mean, what happened there?
Oh, mate, is it just tired, man? Just, you know what I mean? It's just long. It is, I ain't gonna lie. It's long. Like, we just filming where we always film after the game. And after the game, you always get, bubbly characters coming out. People who've had not even a few too many. You go into the football, you're in hospitality, or you're drinking. You get people who are drunk or whatever. And the lady just come over to me and started singing like a famous song that we all sing as United fans, "Kicking the Blue." It's not racist or homophobic. It's just a normal football song. So I just sort of said, as long as she's happy. I think I was halfway through saying, that was a boring game and 1-1, and then she came and injected a little bit of life and was just like, kicking the blue. So I'm just thinking it's just a normal person after the game who's probably had too many, but it's all good vibes. And then she's walked off and then come back. So I'm thinking, she's probably just going to say some more funny stuff. And she's just said, get the N-words out. So and then walked off laughing. And I was just like, as you can see from the video, innit? I'm just
shocked.
I'm shocked. And I'm not shocked that there's racism in 2024. Of course not. This is our reality. This is what our society does. I was just shocked at how she's blindsided me, basically, almost pretending to be an ally, and then in the immediate click of a finger, and look, people say, why? I can't believe you didn't do this or do that, and what a lot of people don't realise, and a lot of you might be watching at home and think but Flex, you're the one who got racially abused. You should be able to go and go crazy. But what happens is, to a lot of people of colour, if you go off and you start reacting, all of a sudden you're not the victim anymore. You're not. It's just the truth. You can also become the perpetrator in some way, and it's so shocking and sad that we have to feel like that. Or if anyone who feels or receives any discrimination should feel like they can't even respond in the most natural way possible, out of the fear of being sort of villainized. But that's actually what was going through my head, and actually,
it's one of your own fans as well. When I say one of your own fans,
exactly.
She's reportedly Man United fan?
No, she's a United fan. She's a United fan. And but I also said on the video I done this morning that like it doesn't make it hurt more or less, to be honest. Like it's just what exists in our society away from football. All we want to do is go and support our team, go and do what we enjoy, whether it's out of football or not, and you're in your society. I felt like I had to have a good reaction and talk about it properly, because it wasn't just me. It's happened to me in that situation. I've dealt with situations like that, and this ain't going to be the last. But there was a lot of black and people of colour who were there behind the camera who also were equally as offended and couldn't believe it. White people who are not black offended. There will be people who will tune in, thousands and thousands of people, to sit down with their family and watch my reaction after the game. Black, white, Asian, doesn't matter, who would sit down with their young family, and they would have had to seen that and been blindsided and think, what the hell? And I sort of just said to Josh, I was like, that video is going out exactly the way it happened, you know? And I feel like people will do what's right. Man United have reached out to me and taken the necessary steps. And to everyone, I want to say this actually, to like my phone, whether it's DMs, messages, ats, everything, like the love and the support has been like unreal from everyone, like 100%. It don't mean that it don't hurt, but it's amazing to see that. I've just seen, actually, while we're live, I've seen Harry Maguire has reached out and just said, disgraceful, hope you're okay, Flex. We're all united together, so big up to Harry Maguire.
Big up him, man.
But look, do you know what? When things like this have happened to me before, they've happened to you before, they've happened to you before, it's the fatigue, it's the tiredness of like, do you know what? I know this ain't going to be the last, but you know what? One thing that I will say is, you know, you're never going to be able to stop us creating. You're never going to be able to stop us in society. You're never going to be able to stop us being in your favourite football teams. We are unstoppable from that point. And there will be all these setbacks, and we have to fight the fight together with everyone. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone reaching out. But we have to do things in the right way. I just had visions of, if I would have just gone off like crazy, I just thought, I just don't think that. How can that happen to me? And I'm going, I don't think that's going to look good on me if I do X.
Yeah,
do you know, do you see what I'm
mad
saying?
that you're even having those calculations.
That you have to, but
for me, there would have been no maths.
And that's our reality, though. Do you know what I'm saying? That's our reality. So when there's other situations where people get offended, I think people only get offended by the sort of thing if you think it applies to you. If you know that you're not this type of person, you're not ready, it shouldn't offend you. But when people say, oh, there's some black people use the race card or this, that and the other, this is our reality, man. This is what's really out there. We have to be careful what we say. We have to be careful how we come across. We have to be careful what we do. We have to be careful how we approach people when we walk into any room. It's just what happens. But listen, thank you for the love. The person in question is, I hope, gets all the consequences that is deserved. And it wouldn't have happened where the person became so identifiable if you guys, in like all the football community and just life, didn't
the fact that somebody
so.
Thinks they can just come up, that's the thing sometimes, that they can just come up and do
incredible.
That.
That's in their, you know, Robbie, that's in their happy
it's
place.
Crazy.
You see, like if you're in an altercation with somebody, this doesn't make it better, by the way, but if you're in an altercation with somebody, an argument, and there's a venom or a viciousness that comes out of them that's like was inside, and out of anger and frustration they let it out, still makes you what you are. But to be in your happy place, to be in a calm state of like, I'm in a good mood, and that's what's within you, I pity you, man. Pity you. Can't stop us anyway.
Yeah, listen, big up Flex for how you dealt with it. I think every single person in this chat right now, all 13,000 of you, would agree with everything you've just said. There's obviously no place for it. It still does happen. And now we accept whatever Manchester United are going to do, the police are going to do to deal with her. And just, if she is watching, I hope you enjoyed your last game. I hope it was worth it.
Yeah.
I really do hope it was worth it.
That's one of the good things about now, right, is that when I first started going to football back in the day, them things happened all the time. And there was no consequences. People got away with it. They could have a laugh about it. And if you said something about it, they'd be like, oh, what's the problem? It's only banter and all this rubbish, right? Now, the good thing about it is that a club like Manchester United will take action. That will be a last
And
game.
quickly as well.
Yeah, and quickly.
They messaged me before I even messaged them.
Yeah. Well done. Well done to
Man
Man United.
Yeah,
When I had a racist incident like that a few years ago at Spurs, and Spurs were on the phone to me the next day. I give them their full credit. The next day, and they were asking me, they were apologising. I said, well, it's nothing for you guys to apologise. It's some idiot. Right? And they said, we're looking to try and find out. Well, unfortunately, they couldn't find the person. But that's the thing now. At least there's consequences. At least it's being taken seriously. So well done to Manchester United on that. You know. Yeah, sure. Let's talk about the game though, right? Because that's what we really want to do. We don't want to be talking about these things.
Exactly.
We want to talk about the game. Mind you, there weren't much to talk about.
Sunday League quality game.
That game was a very poor quality game. But do you think that United could have nicked it in the end? You had a few chances at the end to Bruno and Garnacho had a couple, and I'd say of the clearer cut chances. Yeah, hold on a minute. You said it was going to be 4-1, yeah?
Listen, let me say this, yeah?
Matisse.
He needs to keep quiet for a second.
It's fine.
Let him keep his mouth closed.
Can we not hear from him first?
No, we can't hear from him first. He doesn't get to come here and speak first because we heard enough of what he had to say, didn't we? Yeah? When I sat in this seat, yeah, and let him run up his mouth, yeah? How they're dining at this table now.
He said.
He's coming for blood, he's coming for goals, he's coming for a +3 goal difference and all these things. And I sat here and I said, that's not going to happen. Yeah? When he told me about Cole Palmer and we got, Lavia in midfield, we got, who else we got? We got Neto, we got lights, camera, action, no Jackson. You know what I mean? We got all these things. We have Maresca, ball, all of these things. You're a dead team. Look what Spurs did to you. Look what Liverpool done to you. You can't beat us or do anything to us with no tactics. Where's your 4-1, bro? Where's your 4-1, bro? I said to you, you are not as far away from us as you think. Ooh. I told you that. I said, you come from the slums. You come from the council estate. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Same vibes, by the way. Yeah? We come from the same thing. Do not try to detach yourself. When me and Abby are sitting here and he's going, oh, that's not me. Oh, you lot are this. I saw 2 poor teams yesterday. Yeah? There was way more pressure on you to do what you said you was going to do. 4-1, 3-1, 3-0. All of this chat. Apart from one little idiot touch that Palmer did. Where was he? We sat on this table with your world-class rubbish, with your premature world-class nonsense. I don't need to see any more. We've seen him go to Anfield. Ghost. You had to put invisible on your thumbnail. We've seen him come to rubbish Old Trafford with the roof leaking, with Ineos, with no manager, with no tactics, missing. Wasn't there. You needed a worldie from Caicedo that he'll probably never score again in his life. Out of the blue.
Hold that.
Against a dead, nothing Manchester United.
Hold that.
We dragged you down to our level. You did not respect the 11 years. You haven't even been to our gaff and won. So who are you? I'm going to do a tie. Who are you? What have you done? No. You haven't come to our gaff and won recently. Can you even remember the last time you won at Old Trafford? So what gave you the audacity to think you can just stroll up there and mash us up when Ten Hag has gone? And I'm trying to explain to you, you know what, bro? You're not just going to come and walk all over us. I did the humble thing to you, bro. I said, Matisse, that's not going to happen.
The chest that was on this fella.
And I'm so glad they put it in the edit because with everything that's happened in the last 24 hours, not even 24 hours, I forgot that at the end of our preview, I said, you've said so much that even if we draw this game, and I actually called the 1-1 in the end, because I know my team. And guess what? I know your team better than you know it. Because the fact you can win a couple little games, couple little goals, and think you're dining at the top table. You know what you are, bro? You're back on tinned mackerel, yeah? Self-raising flour for dumpling, yeah? Yeah?
Mackerel.
Little ackee. Yeah?
Corned beef.
Yeah? Corned beef with cabbage. Yeah? And callaloo, bro. You're back on basics, bro. Yeah? You ain't on no caviar, lobster tail. You know what I mean? Yeah, spam. Spaghetti hoops. Yeah? Alphabet spaghetti. Remember potato smileys, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Turkey dinosaurs.
You think you're in a Nobu? Huh? You think you, yeah?
Wimp is that?
Yo. The man think you, man, yo. Oh, what you think y'all eat? Brother. Y'all get sardine and mackerel and them thing now at the tin, brother.
Right, from Nobu to sardine and mackerel.
You know what I mean? With brine. You have to,
Salt water,
yo, you have to drain out the water before you eat that, you know, dog. The man try come on some hoisin duck and all them thing then. Nah, sir. Y'all eat with us.
Ration.
Yeah. You have to share it out nice, you know. About man thinking you're dining on the top floor of the shard. No, sir. And I tried to tell him, you know. Remember where I come from. Remember.
What you said?
Yeah?
We need to hear from you, man.
Come on, speak now, man.
That was fucking good.
So we've got to move on.
Because last thing, because you lot were all standing up, remember, clapping him after his amazing flipping speech. Remember, made you change your prediction.
Yeah.
You went, I was thinking that, but after
I
what
did change it back though.
But you know what I mean, though. He was so good. He was
all fooled.
He was so good on Thursday. Everyone was giving him a round of applause, and I sat there. I went, all right, watch, pussy, watch.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I have to say, first of all, I walked out on my own into the trenches and I got shot. That's what it is. My fan base, they told me, calm down, calma. And I said, nah, fuck it. I'm going out there. I'm going to go fight, regardless. Because I was really feeling it. It wasn't fake. I was feeling it. Because even after watching that game, I don't have more respect for United. I don't think Man United have more quality. I don't think Man United are better than I thought. But I think, damn, what the hell are we? Why didn't we come out of first gear? Not even, if we was playing in second gear. That performance was so similar to when Tottenham went there, when Liverpool went there. But the difference is they had the quality to dismantle them and play through them. Do I now think my team is worse than Tottenham after that game? Well, I hope not. But we just didn't turn up. There was no quality in our play. We're overhitting, underhitting final passes. Palmer's not playing well. Don't know how he ended up with 3 key passes in that game, according to stats, but he was poor. Madueke couldn't get him in the game enough, and when he was on the ball, he couldn't even get past Mazraoui once.
That Mazraoui played well, but
he was brilliant. He was their man in the match.
Yeah,
Jackson was anonymous. Martinez and De Ligt could have went to sleep. The only attacker we had that played well was Neto. When he swapped flanks, he was the first person to get past Mazraoui on that side. Caicedo scores a screamer, like you said, 1 in a million. So there's ways to draw a game.
He played all right.
Yeah, there's ways to draw a game, yeah. And I'm so angry with my team because there's so much context that is just doesn't look good on us. Forget my hype, forget my arrogance, my confidence. I'm getting cooked. I'm getting cooked.
The game's the game.
I'm getting cooked, but it's fine. I don't care about that. I'm more annoyed because if you at least draw that game by creating a lot of chances and you just can't get past Onana, fair enough. If you draw that game because Manchester United were brilliant and they're playing some scintillating, tantalising football and it was just out of nowhere and Van Nistelrooy's just put together this crazy system and the tactics and we draw that game, cool. But we drew that game because we never even came out of first gear. We never got any control. We never created any chances. We didn't play well. The substitutes, anonymous. And we didn't bring on Nkunku. We didn't bring on Felix. For all this squad depth, for all this equality that we're meant to have, for all this money spent, we're not even bringing on 2 of our attackers that we spent money on. So I'm just pissed. And then add the context of the fact that coming into this game, we rested players against Newcastle, which I didn't want us to do because forget me, we put more pressure on ourselves by doing that, by saying we don't care about the cup. Newcastle played their strong team against us in midweek. They played their strong team against Arsenal. They beat both of us. We play our weak team, B team, against Newcastle, get slapped up, save everybody all week for Man United. Man United, by the way, their players, 8-9 of their players, no rest. Played midweek, played Sunday. No rest, Tagate, Casemiro, played both games. We rest our whole damn team. Our whole 11. Sleeping, snoozing. Not even on the bench against Newcastle. Jackson, not on the bench. Caicedo, not on the bench. So people can cuss and say, why did you expect? I expect because of the context. You're not going to play against Newcastle. You're not going to be on the bench for Newcastle. You have a whole week to prepare for Manchester United and you play like that. Embarrassing. So yeah, I'm embarrassed. I've embarrassed myself, but they've embarrassed themselves same way. Same way.
Do you accept, do you accept that you're not as good as you thought you are? Can you see that now, or do you just see that as a blip?
Bro? I take
because that's 2 games on the bounce, and now you got Arsenal. So
do you know what, bro? I take that game And I don't know what's going on there. The Nigerians are telling me juju and all these things. And I'm saying, I don't believe in that. They're saying it's cursed. They're saying Old Trafford's cursed. I said, I don't believe in curses, brothers. They're telling me, no, you must believe. You need to start understanding this is what happens. I don't believe it. Maybe in 5 years, no more wins at Old Trafford, I'll start to get on board. I don't regret having chest. I don't regret anything.
Do you not? You
I don't
should.
regret it. No, I
You should
don't.
regret
No, you could say I should, but I don't regret it
You
because
should regret that.
I don't think Chelsea fans are thinking, oh, we can't make top 4. I'm still predicting us to finish 4th. We still have to finish 4th. We still have to utilise the players that we've signed. There was no Drewsbury Hall on the bench. No Chukwuemeka on the bench. The team was too fully fit. You see how you have, sometimes you think, 2-3 injuries, that's normal. The team was too fully fit.
So
we had too many options.
Has that ever
we
been
had
That's what his team's done to him. He's saying my team's too fit.
We had so many options. People couldn't even get onto the bench that we signed in the summer.
So wait.
And people want me to not have confidence.
So you're going back to when we were cussing saying there's too many players and he's going, I'm just working with 24 mate. Now you're saying it's too much.
Bro, we had players that didn't make the bench that could have easily been on the bench in that game. We had everybody available. I'm not going to downplay it. Chelsea fans just went, no, I'm not downplaying it. The only person unavailable was Sancho, and he was never available anyway. Every single player was available for that game and fully fit, and we couldn't win. And we couldn't win because we never came out of first gear. If we even played for 30 minutes to a decent level, we would have won that game.
Mars said his team's
I am
too
fuming.
I've never heard that before.
Fuming.
We have to hit pause.
Yeah.
This brother just told us this team's too fit.
It's too fit, bro.
And it means that they played like that.
Too many options.
They're too fit.
Yeah.
They were playing like they were in quicksand.
Let's get to AGT, the fair play predictions on that. How did we do?
Well, as you mentioned, our friends at Fair Play are offering new users who download the app a free 1-week entry to the Jackpot 7s. To get your free entry credit, Jackpot is the code that you need when you sign up. This week's confirmed Jackpot 7 prize pot was £741.50. Not bad at all, which will be paid out to the top 5 point scorers of the game week. With one game to go, here's the leaderboard so far, so keep an eye out if you entered, as there are 5 winners guaranteed every week. Now let's see how the panel got on this week with our predicciones. Right, who have we got there? Let's get that up, right, so I can see it.
I can't see it.
Right, it was Matisse that went big, didn't he? Very big. He went 4-1. All right. I would hate 4-1 to be Matisse right now.
You have got to stop.
AGT. I actually backed Chelsea to win.
Yeah, is that speech
What was
you
I
gave?
doing?
Convinced everyone.
Yeah, you did. You did.
I mean,
you hoodwinked me.
What did they say the devil does?
Yeah.
I told you, don't listen to me. Don't fall for that.
Robbie thought there was a Chelsea win.
Listen,
Abby
I
went
could put on a
2-all
show.
and Flex went 2-1. But the 1-all draw probably was the fair result in the end due to the lack
Abby's
of quality
the only
from
one.
both teams. Abby's the closest. Yeah, she's the closest. But a couple of sticking points. Was it a penalty for United?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Was it a penalty?
Yes.
I don't
You
care.
go with that?
Yes, he does. He does. But
care.
Was it a red card for Lissandro Martinez?
100%
Yes.
a red card.
I've got to say on this fella, right? He gives
What's-
it the big one that he's the butcher and he's the hard man. He's short. Doesn't matter. He makes up for his lack of height, physicality. At this stage, what we're watching is just a bad defender. The way he throws his
That's red.
two
Hold on,
legs
do you
out
think
and
he-
tries to stud people like that, and he gets away with it every week. At this point, we're just watching
do you know what? Yeah,
defender.
he might suit
I'm
a
sorry.
back three. He's not a bad player. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he might suit a back three because he is a bit too physically.
rash.
What he does is he buys. Leacher buys into, like AGT saying, the narrative around
South
him.
American hard man.
which a lot of the time,
He's
as a Man
compensating.
United fan, I'm not going to lie, we all like passion. When Nunes is doing a madness and kicking up people, pushing people, you see Havertz tries to do it
you
to
gotta
people.
back it up as well.
Elbows, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but
You gotta back it up.
But he's reckless with it.
that's
He's
what I was
overcompensating,
gonna say.
isn't he? Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. He's buying into that narrative far too much, and there's an overcompensating nature about him that really wants to be on the front foot. I think the thing that saved him, because I agree with you, lot, he's lucky, very lucky. The thing that saved him in that moment is when they got the
at the end of the
Bruno
game.
one wrong, and you look at his left foot, it gives way as well. But players know, and people know that he's meant to leave one on, Cole Palmer, and he has.
Yeah.
That's
so
deliberate.
he's lucky. And when Ruben Amorim gets here, for real, like you don't want to take out too much aggression out of someone's game if it's based on that. But he needs to have a real word with him and say, listen, I need you to be aggressive. That's fine. Because the same with Romero. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
That bozo gene
100%.
kicks in, or you're just trying to be the hard man all the time, and you're going to get yourself sent off, and it's
I was
going to
going to say, right, I just still think to myself, when you look at some of these, that went to VAR.
Yeah.
It's clear for everybody
Clear
to see.
red card.
But no, I think because they messed up the Bruno one,
Yeah, but it shouldn't be that.
Exactly.
When you see some of the ridiculous things people have been sent off for this season, you see something like that, you're like, well, what's the point of VAR?
100%.
Let's do some super chats before we get into the next game.
Yeah.
Ellie says, tables turn, bridges turn, you live and learn. Unless you're a gooner, then you believe you'll try and do something. Donovan says, City need Robbie on their legal team to deflect. Have I been deflecting today?
You started off deflecting.
I'm not deflecting.
That was a bad deflection.
The
earlier.
first question I asked you,
the first
said
thing you said
Liverpool's
was-
going to win
You
the
went straight
league.
to Liverpool. I don't even
can
think you
Liverpool
realised.
win?
deflection you could
No.
do.
The reason why I asked that, right, because you was asking me a question. I was just trying to give you some context. I'm not deflecting.
answering the question
I
without-
admitted.
Without any
I
analysis,
admitted.
he goes for that.
I admitted how bad
The
we
elections
were.
are coming up.
Gil says,
Robbie will probably win.
no refereeing decisions, no red card, lost fair and square. That's
Yep.
true. What's your excuses now, Robbie? None. Chris UG says, big up to Edu for taking a next step in his career and moving to Forest, a club with a European pedigree.
Facts.
Well, he won't be.
We didn't
if
talk
he,
about this actually in the Arsenal section.
the fact that Edu's
we're
leaving.
going-
The fact that Edu might be leaving.
Is that enough?
Nah, he's in the summer actually. He was set to join Forest. The Forest. Well, it's not Forest. It's like the guy who owns Forest.
Greek fella.
Yes, to join like his group where to run all his
Conglomerate.
clubs.
Multi-club.
So like because he owns Olympiacos.
So he
it's
head up
he's
all
a
of
big step up. If you're gonna head up all
Sporting
of
director,
that. Black Hole says title race is done for Arsenal, not because of the gap in points, but the way we're playing. Can't expect to improve overnight, especially in attack. CICAS Chaos says.
You missed
what
out
did he say?
half of that. He said,
we must win a
cup double. Thoughts, Robbie.
Domestic thoughts,
I think
Robbie.
that's gone as
Listen,
well.
Double,
doubles.
Just
I
one
mean,
would be
you're
good.
asking for too much. Let's see what we can do.
Single would be good.
CI Chaos says, I'm an Arsenal fan, tired of Robbie's waffle.
Yep.
This league was lost in the summer. Not signing a striker.
It's late.
All right, you may as well not go to no more games for the rest of the season, then, isn't it? Cuban Heights says we should City, Arsenal, and Liverpool go up. Who should City, Liverpool, and Arsenal go after during the transfer window?
do
Timu, little monkey fella says Timu Southgate is currently at Arsenal. All right. Current with Fuad. Oh, his miss has been deleted. Joel says, as an Arsenal fan, I'm disappointed at the loss, but Liverpool at AGT for winning their game. Arsenal have to refine their same mentality that we had last season and 2 seasons ago. If we are to win the league, no excuses. We have to improve. And one more.
Errors me De Cruz says everybody dancing on our graves after 10 games in is crazy. Arteta got it wrong yesterday, but he has proven that he can fix his mistakes in the past. Well, he must now. Let's move on quickly. I'm just wary because you've got your thing at 2 with a milli, which we're looking forward to. City lose, right? Everyone around this table predicted a City win.
That was crazy.
What I don't want to do is talk about how bad City were. What I do want to do, right, just like the Arsenal games, talk about how good Bournemouth were, right? Kirkes, 2 assists for the left back. Semenyo with a great finish. Ivan Nilsson with a great finish as well. And if you look at the teams, I'm sorry, a defensive Walker, your boy, who you still think's better than Trent, Akanji, Ake and Vardiol should on paper still be enough to beat a Bournemouth team. Kovacic, Foden, Silva, Gundogan, Nunes, Haaland. Still talking about a class Champions League winning team.
They had the big
and they
guns
should
out.
be doing that.
They had the big guns
and
out.
the midfield of Cook and Christie has overrun City, and they deserve
It's
to
only
win.
because they're not a
Big
big
up to
club and no one
Bournemouth.
cares about them. Why they're not getting
And look,
criticism.
and this is us being very wrong. Every single person has predicted a City win.
Do you know what, right? Bournemouth, since the international break, they've beaten us. They drew with Villa away.
Yep.
And beaten City.
Fantastic.
I mean, imagine when they came back after the international break. When they were looking at those games, they must have been going like this. Oh my
7
God.
points
And
from
do you know
9.
what?
Unbelievable
They
run.
should have been 3-0 up.
They should have
been 3-0
They should have
up,
smacked
mate.
them up.
But
And
you
should
also
have
got
been
to praise their
3-0 up.
resilience for when City did get one back.
How they held on.
Because that it was going that way where you're thinking, on another day, let's be fair, the Haaland one, the Foden one, they score them.
Yeah.
So you do need a bit of luck, but they absolutely deserve every bit of luck they got. And the resilience that they showed to not completely crumble when City get one back. Because that's the norm, isn't it?
Yeah.
City get one back, you're in massive trouble. And they survived, man.
Yeah, you
Well
know,
done to
Flex,
them.
you said like, Arsenal been kind of getting away with it, which you were right when you said that. So have City.
100%.
I agree.
Yeah.
So have
This was
City.
coming for them as
This
well.
would be
I
coming
agree,
for them as well because they had that.
First loss
they
of
had
the
that
season.
last minute, equaliser against Wolves. Who were, let's not forget, Wolves are bottom of the table.
Yeah.
They only won 1-0 against Southampton. They weren't great in that game at home. Right, they've had other couple of games where they've just sort of,
Brentford,
you know what I mean?
they got off to a bad start.
Yeah,
and had to come back.
But in this one, they got right. I mean,
they can be got up, man. That high line of theirs as well. Like,
yeah,
there's a
they're
lot
not
of gaps
looking.
in it.
I mean, we have said this before about them, and
Yeah,
they've come
they're
good.
not. We can't write them off.
Yeah, but
they're in a bad moment.
Certainly, that's why this season is. It's a bit weird, you know. I mean, there's nobody apart from Liverpool that are flying.
Yeah,
you know.
So yeah, City lose their first one of the season, and again that comes after a cup defeat as well, 2 losses in a row. They normally do go through this purple patch of losses at this point of the season, and then they bring it back towards the end and inevitably win. Their challengers, Liverpool, won, and I have to say, I was at the game. I was in the second row of the Kop as normal. The first half, that is the worst first half I've seen Liverpool under Arne Slot. It was bad, bro. The lack of want to retreat. Thank God that Kelleher saved that 1-on-1 with Jorginho.
Yeah,
again,
and
Kelleher has been fantastic. Welbeck had 2 free kicks right outside the box. One of them
went just.
And because when you're so close to the action, you can hear all the little bits and bobs. He's wrapped it and it's whipped the side net. And I've gone for a split second. I was like, that's just gone in. But then I have to say, big up to Brighton for them for their first half performance and right up until the 67th minute, because up until that point, that was the perfect away performance at Anfield. But then, and this is where I'm going to turn the table and big up Liverpool, because whatever Arne Slot said at half-time worked. And there's this myth, isn't there, that Anfield is just atmosphereless, right, after You Never Walk Alone. I'm dispelling that right now, because I'm saying this. I'm taking credit on behalf of everyone that was there in the stadium. We won that game for Liverpool on Saturday, because if you saw the atmosphere, I'm going to say from 65 minutes from when Estupiñán and Trent went at it, that's the spark that we needed. And it might sound arrogant, we won that game for Liverpool because the energy that we gave them, and you saw Szoboszlai giving it this at 1-0 down. We go in and score that first goal after a huge mischance from Van Dijk. Salah could have scored. That luck that you need to go on and win those games is what we got with the Gakpo goal. It was a cross. I'm not going to say it wasn't, because it definitely was. But then that 2 minutes after, bro, Mo Salah's goal now overtakes Robbie Fowler as 164 Premier League goals. I mean, it was a joy to be in that stadium on Saturday, right? And we deservedly went top. And for all the criticism that Liverpool get about the atmosphere, that was a prime example. And you heard Hertzler say after, I'm going to have to phone Klopp and see what the solution is to get a result at Anfield when it gets like that. Bro, I'm so proud of the fans of Liverpool on Saturday, because I'm saying it again, we won that game for them. Of course, there was the quality from Mo Salah, the goal, finish, and we held on.
Bro. It was stupid, bro.
And my view of that goal, as soon as he hit that, if the net wasn't there, I would have personally and I just saw it edge in, and obviously the keeper got a touch
to it. It was ridiculous. Bro, when I see that finish, as soon as it went 1-1, well, I was putting in the group, remember? When it went to 1-0, when it went 1-0 to Brighton, I went in the group and said, Brighton was just thinking, Liverpool will come back. You just know. You just knew. And actually, I commend Brighton for the first half. What they're doing under Hertz is really good. Really, really good. Those creating chances, carving you open. You was misplacing passes, giving away the ball. Really bad
I don't even want to know how many passes, how many passes Liverpool
it was really bad. But
Trent, McAllister, every single person was awful in that first half, apart from Kelleher that kept us in it.
Yeah, really. And he made he's good.
But now what we have to do, that's 8 wins out of 10 for a new manager.
So you're going to win the league?
Let me finish. Don't disrespect me when I'm getting on to giving credit to Arne Slot. I see what you're doing. You're trying to get me to say something. You're trying to get me to say something.
What did I do?
I'm not going to say. I'm not going to.
It's very spiky today.
Spiky.
Top of the league.
Exactly.
Why so spiky?
We're the best team in the league right now.
So why being so spiky?
My goodness.
7 points.
So you're going to win the league?
I'm not answering that question. I'm not moving like how you move.
Those West Coast trains
how like AFTV
must be bumpy rides from Liverpool.
I'm not moving like that.
What did I do?
I'm not moving like that.
What did I do? You should be happy.
What you're trying to do is to get me on camera.
But you don't have to say
people?
We could well win.
You could just say I prefer not to speak. You don't have to. You don't have to say that.
I can see. You think I'm stupid?
What did I do, man?
I haven't been here before.
How are you rattled when you're top of the table?
How
are you rattled? You're rattled. You're top of the table. You're rattled. How are you rattled top of the table?
Number one.
How are you rattled top of the table?
I'm not moving like you, chest out.
Listen, brother. I know you ain't got no chest. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it.
Come and ride.
Yeah, man. Wow.
Don't worry, man. What are you worrying about?
Jesus.
Are we going to win the league? Do you think
It's
we are?
kind of traumatised, isn't it? Hey, Flex.
We are traumatised.
Do you know what it is? They're proper trauma, you know.
PTSD is setting in
trauma,
right now.
brother. Can't even ask questions now.
Nah, man. Listen.
City!
I know what you're trying to do.
I'm not going to say nothing.
Second!
I'm quiet.
I know what you're trying to do.
Second!
Right, anyway, we are going to move on.
Can't even ask questions.
We are going to move on.
You didn't answer it, though.
Anfield. Are we going to win the league? I still don't think we will.
Okay.
If I'm honest. I still think Man City will win it. Because I've been here before. You've been here before.
Why don't you think you're going to win it?
Wow.
Because Man City exists.
Oh, but jeez, see what I'm saying?
That's lost the ball.
That trauma's crazy. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Bro, it's 99 points.
The league finishing tomorrow. No, it isn't. I'm not getting drawn into these silly predictions.
Why you
We'll take it each game as a time.
Wow.
What I have to say is...
No. You've got
for
to...
the
No.
league.
You know what?
Right now.
Actually, you know what? I'm drawing it back.
Let me tell you something. If Liverpool were top of the league,
if
Liverpool were top of the league on match day 37, 4 points clear, this brother would still be like, nope.
No.
4 points clear. We're one game.
I've been hurt too much. I've been hurt way too much.
The man's telling me...
Okay, then I would. Then I would.
Man's telling me to hold that, yeah, but you're dreaming of second.
What are you dreaming of? Top 4?
I'm dreaming of second. You asked me earlier if we try and win the league.
A goal from
what are you dreaming of
set
second?
piece. Anyway, we've got to move on.
You said about hold that.
We got to
You're
move
talking
on.
about all this. I mean,
we must.
State your purpose, bro.
But I'm not moving.
State your
like
intentions
Arsenal.
with our Premier League
State
trophy.
your purpose.
Yeah.
What purpose have you got?
State
You've
your
won nothing in the
intentions.
last 20 years.
State
Where's the
your
arrogance and
purpose.
confidence
What are your
from you come
intentions
from?
with our Premier
You
League?
don't deserve to be
You're
this
top of the
arrogant.
league by 7 points.
Yeah, but we don't do Arsenal and say
You're top
and
of
print
the
out
league.
T-shirts at Christmas.
You're
We're not
top
on that.
of the league,
We're
brother.
taking each.
What do you? I mean, you
we've
when
got
you
a
stop
brand new
cussing
manager.
it.
He
He
thinks he's in a press conference. Oh, we take each game as it comes. You know what I mean? We have to be very, very
100%.
responsible, very
Stop having a
serious.
go.
here,
We're not
take each game
like
as it comes.
you or you.
Listen,
Right,
brother.
you know
do the chess thing.
We're just how
We
many
don't
times
do
do
that.
it before
You
we start the
should
show?
be-
We're here to entertain.
Yeah.
We're here to entertain.
Right now,
Why
we're
you shook
enjoying
for?
it.
Why you shook?
If you're top
I
of the
want
table,
this guy-
you must.
I want this guy
Are you
to
not
be
familiar
the
with your
first.
surroundings? You
I
come to
want this
Liverpool
person,
London
right?
every week.
I want AGT to be the first person to be the top of the league and win Sausage of the Week. Right?
I'll take
State your purpose.
Yeah,
I literally created the
him in the
award.
stand
so
up
I'll
for your
take it.
club.
Put him in the
I can
poll.
stand up, but what I'm not going to do is the
Stand
whole
up!
TV
Put him in the
delusion
poll.
thing where you say
Get
you're
up
going to
there.
win the league and all this.
Oh,
No.
they don't do that. The Cox
Real
TV
Liverpool
said.
fans know that that's not my style. We take each game as it
That's
comes.
not his
it's
style.
not
We
his style.
don't do that.
Hold
We don't
that,
do
you
that.
sausage.
We
It's
don't
not
do
his
that.
style.
Anyway, we must move on. Ipswich 1, Leicester 1.
Actually, we need to do a load of super chats.
Well,
There's loads of them.
We can get onto them, can't we?
Well,
Sabrina.
But are you in order? Because I've got the order
you at?
here.
All right,
I'm on
jump.
Sabarinif. Robbie and his classic deflection strategy. I saw in his fan cam that he mentioned the referee was inconsistent and let Newcastle get away with
Yeah,
a
but I
lot.
didn't use it as an
Shameless
No,
Don.
brother.
Shameless Don.
Brother.
Flapjack
Be
then
truthful in
says.
what you say because I didn't use that as a deflection. I said the
it's
referee
poor.
actually, but I said the referee actually had a decent game.
Nope.
Because they're at home, so you'd expect them to be a bit more physical.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
state the facts,
Big
bro.
up. Robbie kept saying Liverpool haven't played anyone yet. Then they and City both lost to Bournemouth, and Forest are now above them in third.
Well done,
Hold
Forest.
that.
Adam Nielsen says,
Flapjack.
don't want to be here to rile because Arsenal's big fat L, but have to say to Flex handle the situation really well. Racism has no place in football or anywhere in this world. Big up.
Eric Ten Hag is available now. Time to replace Arteta, says Sabarina.
Lefilon, I can't pronounce that. Apologies. He says, call AGT Carl Thomas. He's emotional.
I've been hurt in the past, man. I'm calm. I'm very calm.
Wicked Dubs says, Liverpool fan, season is ours. Canada we've loved. You see, that's what I rate that brother there.
I got to skip.
With chest.
Okay, big up him.
AGT.
That's
looking
not
at the
my.
Prem
That's not
trophy.
my
Lila
thing.
says, not enough credit to Fabi Hertzler. We were poor because Brighton were relentless in their pressing and movement. It was like we were playing against a Klopp team.
It was like that at times. Keyboard is Bliss says, when you're playing poor, not creating at all, how do you come up with so much delusion to say that you'll beat Newcastle away 2-1, Robbie? Turkish, big up to Turkish. Finally gets his moment in the super chats here.
Big up
Robbie,
Turkish.
would you like to adjust your 8 out of 10 rating of the transfer window? When we start talking rubbish,
7
I'm
out
ready.
of 10, right?
Let's find the
Marcus
clip.
says,
Find the
Paul
clip, I'm
Joyce
sure.
calling Gary Neville a lie about FSG offering Amarin the job. Joyce remains the GOAT.
Big up Joyce.
Most reliable voice on Liverpool
Tier
for
1.
years.
Tier 1.
Gravenberg, dollar value and FC rating will see the largest jump in the Premier League after this season's agreed. That's from Cuban Heights.
Layla says Arteta is the Spanish version of Brendan Rodgers. To be fair, Brendan Rodgers won a lot of trophies at Leicester, Celtic, so it can't be. We'll move on because we've got so many
Wicked Dub
other
says, Flex,
fixtures.
you're a gentleman and a scholar for handling that situation the way that you did. All the people need to behave as you did. Respect from Canada. Who finishes the season better, Chelsea or Manchester United?
Yeah.
Nice. And the answer is Man United as well.
Shout out to Flex each and
Donna
every time.
Odegaard is coming back. We're still in it. Says, I can't pronounce your name, mate. Lalo Honololo. I hope I pronounced it right, but thank
I'm
you.
just
for
a
your
bit wary,
super chat.
Robbie, that you're jumping ahead and I've got the order
Stephen
here.
K said, Flex is so good, silent killer.
Doesn't care. Big up.
Oh, sorry.
Right, let's go back through the scores and results then of this game week. Ipswich 1, Leicester 1. Again, Ipswich cannot seem for the life of them to get a win.
Yeah.
Calvin Phillips sent off. I mean, it goes from bad to worse for him. I really don't know what he's got to do to find a bit of form. But it was Jordan Ayew, who many laughed at when he moved to Leicester, saves Leicester's point at the end on the 94th minute, Jamie Vardy assist. But you have to feel for Leicester, right? They still haven't won a game, and currently they sit in 18th, 5 draws and 5 defeats.
Sorry,
Ipswich, 5 draws and 5 defeats right now for the Tractor Boys. Bournemouth 2, City 1, we've covered that. Southampton 1, Everton 0. Armstrong with the goal. Everton having their goal from Beto ruled out for him being offside in the last dying embers of the game. Hold that, the Toffees. Do you know what? Me and Doyle were filming outside Anfield yesterday, and one guy come past and went, "Carpenter, gobshites." And I went, "What was the Everton score?" And then he just ran off because he was obviously an Everton fan. Big up to him. Wolves 2, Palace 2. Decent game this to watch. It was the 5:30 kickoff. Let's see what our predictions for this game were. This was one of the jackpot sevens, this one. And did anyone get it right? No. We wanted a 2-2. No one got that one right at all. And Chalobah getting his first goal for Palace as well on loan from the Chelsea. And João Gomez and Larson obviously scored 2 in 5 minutes. But it was a crazy game. From absolutely nothing happening in the first half to 4 goals in the second half. Crazy game. Probably the fair result in the end. Forest 3, West Ham 0. Let's see what our predictions were for this one. I'm pretty sure no one got this one right. Flex was the nearest. Flex was the nearest.
Anton Ferdinand, yeah?
Yeah, big him up.
I said to him,
I had a win for Forest.
Meanwhile, he's doing up Bambi on ice, yeah? All 10 minutes down camera 4, yeah? Yeah, Anton, you're sending me videos of João Bowen scoring a penalty he should never have got. And I said to you, don't use Man United as a barometer of thinking you are back or onto something good, because you were a poor side. Yeah? Poor side. And I said that you'd go and get your head tops licked off by Forest, and that's exactly what happened. Down to Forest, 10 man, 3-0. And you know what? Shout out Wolfie from Forest Fan TV as well, because he messaged me. He goes, Flex. First he said, Flex, please beat Chelsea or something so they don't come near us or whatever it was. But Forest fans, you lot are on cloud 9.
They're not cloud 9. They're on third place right now. And as you can see, every single team in the top 4 has won a European Cup, including 6th, but not 5th.
Yeah, he said, don't sleep on us, bro. That's what he sent me on Saturday. Wolfie.
Big him up.
We got Wolfie.
Big him up. Right, next up, Tottenham
well, by the way.
4, Aston Villa 1. This was our fair play fixture as well. Did we have anyone get this one right? Abby was the closest. I went with the 3-3 for some reason. Flex went 3-2. Matisse went 2-1 away win. Big up Tottenham, because this game, you know, they deserve to be in front.
1-0 down
against the run of play from the Morgan Rogers goal on 32 minutes. But the second half, from 15 minutes to go onwards, Tottenham just absolutely turned up.
Brilliant goal by Solanke.
2 goals from Solanke and another great free kick from James Maddison as well, 96th minute. If Abby was here, I'm sure she'd give us a bit more in-depth analysis. Big up to her.
But she isn't so good.
But she isn't. So
get well soon. No, don't mean it like that. Get well soon, Abby. No. Get well soon, Abby.
She's watching right now.
But thank God we ain't got here for her today, because they actually did play very, very well, Spurs.
Especially
that was a very impressive win.
And I tell you what, Villa lost to Palace at home in the Cup. They've just been smacked up by Tottenham. They've got to come to Anfield on Saturday night.
Man, they need that wake
Hold that, man.
I know it's a lot of those fans that would have come in the chat and said, that's why you should have got Unai Emery. They're not here now.
Oh, he's doing it again.
No, I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Oh, he's doing it again.
These are the sort of things that happen sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, you know when people are quick to jump on a thing, so why are they not there now? All right, let's move on.
And we welcome them to Anfield on Saturday night as well. So
maybe both of them are in trouble
on Saturday night. Yeah.
8 o'clock.
Imagine if we were fighting to see who was the second best out of them two in the slot the whole time.
Just getting licked.
Nice. And don't forget the massive West London derby, Fulham Brentford is tonight. Apparently Dimitar Berbatov is the guest on MNF tonight.
Very exciting. Stanley Berb says Liverpool and City in December, first at Anfield. Massive.
C1 Chaos, that is a big game, says, I'd rather have Smith Rowe over Marino or Sterling. Lee Murphy says, so the 5 seasons, over 600 million spent with 1 cup to show for it, 2 points behind Spurs and conceded the same. How long till your big players cut and run, Robbie? You're basically a spicy Spurs. Trust the process.
10 games in, yeah?
The
season finished this week.
That's why I'm not celebrating winning the league, Robbie.
No, it says, I think Arsenal's horrible form is psychological. There seems to be an unsettlement at board level that has trickled down to the pitch. I'm not sure about that. The Edu thing was kind of, he nearly left in the summer for that job. So
should have gone.
Justin says, Bournemouth have taken 7 points against City, Arsenal and Villa. Where's the highest they could finish?
Big up Iriola. Starkey Stark says deflection tactics from Arsenal fan base is crazy. Every time they drop points or lose, the first person they look to target is the ref and
no
VAR.
one's blaming the ref.
Hardly take any accountability for their team's mistakes. Tierman says
took accountability. That's all fake, bro. I took
after some deflecting.
I took accountability. I said that Arteta got it wrong. I said that the players were terrible.
Deflect first.
I didn't blame the referee.
Second.
And I didn't blame VAR. So what you just said is completely fake news.
Apart from the deflection,
Sabrina says, and I didn't deflect. I just simply asked you a question. That even in your Liverpool section, you
another
refuse.
international break, don't we, Flex?
You refuse to answer.
I'm not Robbie Lowe.
Right?
I'm not.
Let us know when you're ready to answer that question. Sabrina says, lost to Liverpool, City and drew at home to Forest and Palace, robbed Bournemouth, beat Wolves and West Ham, beat Newcastle, and then turned over by them in the Cup. Fair play. Beat Wi-Fi password teams in Europe. And then #Chel. He's not impressed with Chelsea.
Tiemann says Liverpool have Salah, City have Haaland, Arsenal lack a ruthless goal scorer. Will Saka get 20 plus goals in the Premier League?
John Free says Mud Classico. Matisse is Chelsea catfishing you. Mud Classico.
Medical Bunker. Robbie, reminder that Salah over Henry. Times change. Not yet. I wouldn't agree with that.
Are you backing that? Huh?
I just said I wouldn't agree with that.
Okay. Ricky Proctor
get back in your box.
No, but you proudly read it out.
Yeah.
So Ricky Proctor says, as an Arsenal fan, so glad Abby isn't here, but we do wish her all the best and she gets well soon.
We do.
Matisse, like you lot, but you deserve all the cooking for that never-ending words on Arsenal on Saturday. You tried to ring me on Saturday as well, didn't you? I saw that on I saw that later on. I saw that later on.
I was just checking up on you.
Matisse tried to call. I didn't see it until much later because obviously, just checking on me.
Yeah, I was just about
to check on yourself.
I was asking for your analysis.
Right? No, it says, is Edu's exit a factor in Arsenal's recent dip in form? I don't think so.
Liverpool going to win the league?
Larry says, Matisse, what's your honest opinion about Enzo Fernandez?
Do you know what? Yeah,
Shite.
I said weeks ago that there's an issue because he wasn't playing well. Then he got taken out of the team and Lavia replaced him, which I was kind of expecting based upon form. And now Man United, I don't look at him. He missed a great opportunity to score, but at the end of the day, the team that started the game should have won the game. The players that came off the bench, they had their cameos. They didn't play well, but I'm not going to look at them. He didn't start, so why didn't we win the game with the players that we had on the pitch? That's the main thing. Enzo is a separate issue.
Still a few more super chats to get through, Rob, but you've got a message for us, don't you?
Yep. Don't forget, big up the guys from Proton VPN. We've all been there. Match day just around the corner. You're buzzing for the game, but then you realise that you're in a spot.
That you've got no strikers.
Where you can't watch it, right? And the frustration is real. You won't be able to find out if your team's top of the league or not, or if they're going to win the league if you don't get Proton VPN.
Very good.
Right?
Very good.
You'll never miss a moment, AGT, of the action of your championship winning season. Wherever you are, right? They've got you covered by helping you to get access to sites when you need to stream the game. You don't want to miss it if you're a Liverpool fan.
There, won't I?
Whether you're travelling, AGT,
On the train.
Or you're facing those annoying restrictions that stop you from watching the big Liverpool games at Anfield on their way to the title. And it's not just about the access. Proton keeps it secure and private. No Man City fans will be able to get in your chat. Or Arsenal fans will be able to get in your chat.
Thank God for that.
No one's going to be tracking your IP location.
Brilliant.
Right?
I'm on the move.
IP location or your online activity when secretly you are messaging your other Liverpool mates and telling them we are going to win the league, you know, but I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing on the show.
But I'm humble,
Plus, with over 6,500 servers in 110 different countries, you'll get fast, buffer-free. You'll be able to see all of Salah's goals, right? Streaming every single time.
Against your team.
So, you will never miss a moment of live football, particularly Liverpool action again.
Brilliant.
And you get a great discount, AGT, with Proton VPN today.
Wow.
Just use the exclusive link or scan the QR code on the screen to get a massive 55% off a 2-year deal.
It's decent, that.
Right? And 50% off a 1-year deal. Right, because you may only get one chance to win it, right? So a 1-year deal.
Could do with a 2-year deal for Trent.
With Proton VPN, right? And with that, let's dive into the show's moment of the week, thanks to our friends at Proton VPN. What's your moment of the week?
Well, we've got a few.
Right, you got the Isak goal. You got Forest's third goal.
Great goal.
You got Spurs' win over Villa. And you got Bournemouth's win over Manchester
Sorry, no
City.
Liverpool moment of the week for going top?
Nah.
No? Okay, we'll keep it humble.
Did you start the weekend at top?
We're actually
basically
a point behind City, Flex.
Yeah. Isak's goal.
And now we're 7 points ahead.
Forest
That's
going
gotta be the
third in
moment
the
of the week.
table. Spurs win over Villa. For me, I'm giving it to Bournemouth winning over City. That was the big shock of the weekend.
Nobody had it down. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
No,
People
no.
Oh,
had it
there's a
down.
late one coming. AGT getting rattled.
Oh,
That being top of the league, I'll take that.
That's late.
That's fine.
I tell you what,
Top of the
AGT
league.
getting
Who won
rattled in
Tess?
that way.
You know what? I think
won,
we should actually add into it. Flex not reacting in a certain way.
Okay, we'll go with
what
that.
happened to him.
Yeah.
That should be added to it. But
I'll go with that.
should we go with that?
Let's
give it to Flex,
That's a big
man.
message.
I'm going to give it to Flex.
Promoting messages like
I want to
that.
give it to
Big up
Flex.
to Flex.
Could have gone to the
each
football,
and every
but I
time.
appreciate that.
Big
Yeah.
up to Flex, right? Don't forget, guys, to enter this week, Jackpot 7s on the Fair Play app. It's open tomorrow at 10 a.m. Download the app by clicking the link in the description. Scan the QR code on the screen. We're offering new users who download the app a free 1-week entry to win some cash by using that promo code Jackpot. 700 grand up for grabs. If you get all 7 predictions right, as you can see, no chance of us winning the big cash because we pretty much got every single one wrong. I'll be honest with you, we need to get a little bit better. But if you get your 7 predictions correct, that's the prize pot that you could win. But then there is also that minimum prize pot of £500, and you know it's the app that allows you to lock in bets with your mates as well as win big pools on the community sweepstakes or predictor games. You must be in the UK and you must be over 18, of course, Rob.
Okay, listen, we're running out of time here because I've got to go and do the homily thing with Matty.
Yeah, very quickly.
Don't forget, that's coming up very shortly. So remember, DR Sports live on homily at 2 p.m. So download the app now using the link in the description and scan the QR code. For everybody whose super chat didn't get read today, we're just going to put them out on Thursday, right? So let's store these so that all these go, because there are some still to go out. With brilliant reaction from you guys today. Those will go out. But I've got to jump onto Omely and now listen to Matty. Hold it from Matty.
Hold it.
Who got the sausage of the week?
Well, you were saying that you wanted me to be the first person at the top of the league to also win sausage of the week. So we'll go in reverse order with 3% sausage of the week.
Hey, hold on. Was that after I said it, though?
Yeah,
Flex 4%.
Was that after? Wait a minute. Was that after I said it?
Robbie, you're going to be late for a milli right at this stage.
It's a cheat.
Matisse, 41%.
Oh,
but
wow,
Robbie
that's quite
wins
substantial.
sausage of the week. Hold that, you sausage. 7 points behind top.
How
And
on earth did I escape that?
MVP of the week. Robbie, last, 4th, even though his team's in 5th, gets 9%. Matisse, 14%. AGT, 35%. Thank you for your votes. But I agree, this week's MVP of the week is the one, the only, our favourite, Flex. Big up to Flex, the MVP of the week.
I'm going to do a Turkish love for the love people.
For the love people. One more big thanks to Proton VPN for sponsoring the show. Make sure that you, wherever you are, you never miss a moment of the action. We've got the great discount for you. It's protonvpn.com/DR Sports. Click that to get your 55 off a 2-year plan discount or 50% off a 1-year plan discount. You can't go wrong. And as Robbie said, we'll be back on Thursday reading out the super chats that didn't get read in order as well this time, hopefully. But right. Arsenal, is the title race done? Man City lose and Liverpool top. We'll see you Thursday. Take care, people.